cheese, I do that shit for fun.
Alright y'all, what's going on? Welcome back to the video. I know y'all boys and girls are probably up at this time in the morning. And if y'all not, cool. Whenever y'all get to this video, y'all get to this video. Man, I feel like every day we have so much to talk about, but yet we're still trying to find and figure out ways on how to really get the words out our mouth. No homo. I'm 21 years old, man. Y'all know my birthday was on the 1st or whatever. So we still experiencing a little bit of legal adulthood, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie, it's not even really about just being 21. It's about being able to live to see another day. Because no matter what, the most thought that people have sometimes is fearing death. And when you accept life for what it is and what it has to offer, you realize that the ways that you move will define your future. So, like I told y'all in the last video, whatever you do today will probably dictate on how your future will be. Or it could dictate how the next few months or weeks may be. More so why I wanted to get the camera rolling, clearly by the title that y'all seen, I want to tell y'all exactly how I got to this point in my life. Just overall, and I'm going to try to get as much out as I can in this video. But I know we're going to be dropping more videos because, like I said, I did promise y'all story time. And this really is more so not even really too much of a story time, but it's just a story time on my life and just telling y'all the things that I did, right? Because I know some people probably still see me as this average person that just goes to work every single day, come home, or get off of work, and that's it. But it's more to it, and I wish I could explain to y'all in numerous amount of ways, but all I could tell y'all is to tune into my YouTube and watch my content from my TikTok to my Instagram, and y'all will realize where I started this shit, how I started this shit, and why I chose to continue this shit. Now we really gonna start from my uncle's crib, because I know a lot of people are probably curious on where I'm at currently, because y'all know when I had my place, I was dropping videos like crazy consistent, and that's what life is all about. With anything you love, is being consistent, no matter where you're at, no matter who you're around, no matter how you feel. And sometimes I had to let my feelings stop controlling how I moved with my life. Because at the end of the day, I realized, bro, that no one really gives a fuck about your situation or what's going on. Now, maybe people that probably care about the bare minimum, but overall, bro, you really shouldn't give a damn. Why? Because everybody has to worry about their self. You got to worry about your life first, especially before you factor in anybody else. And I feel like that's the number one thing that I learned from this whole situation. The past few months, I learned a lot. I gained a lot of clarity. And I was just 20 years old. Now, one thing I will say is I took a risk. All right. As a matter of fact, I took numerous risks. I took risks for people that I never thought wouldn't be here with me today. Now, mind y'all, you know, as antisocial and introverted as I am, I can deal with it, you know. I feel like I really brought people far enough in my life with me to the point to where I had to, you know, really just worry about myself now. When I was with my uncle, I was genuinely dealing with things more so mentally. When it came to, first off, trying to find a job, working as a server for 6 months, barely getting paid. So I wound up leaving that job and quitting. And I'm gonna tell y'all where it started from there. So when I moved out here, first off, you know, my uncle had, you know, he had a place for me to be. And I respect that, Uncle, if you're watching this video. But I genuinely want to just thank God for where I am, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because literally, bro, a lot of people don't have faith in themselves or belief in themselves. But one thing I will say is have faith in the Lord, bro. No matter where life takes you, just know your life will align with how you moving. So if you're moving stupid or ugly or you're doing dumb things, expect dumb results or stupid results of the outcome. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, when I think about how I got here in life, it's because I took risk. And I didn't only just take good risk for my life, but I took risk for other people that's not even here with me today. And it's crazy to say that some shit feels like a reoccurring cycle. Like it's a pattern that I have to break, like it's a loop. And when I started to realize that everybody's life won't be the same, that's kind of when I got an eye-opener. When I left states constantly, when I was basing my life around this one female, and y'all know who I'm talking about. After high school, I feel like that's where everything flopped. I feel like that's where my vision kind of went downhill with how things should have been. But then I realized that, okay, if I don't move with more than one plan, then I might just fail. And I don't choose failure in my life. I choose to win and succeed. I choose the bigger outcome. Maybe it's not meant for a lot of people to travel along with you. And I'm going to say that every video if I got to, just so y'all can get an understanding on why you probably are alone right now, or why you probably are dealing with some of your major issues by yourself. It's not necessarily that I don't want to carry anybody with me, or I don't want people to be successful with me, but I realize that oftentimes people tend to push their self away. And they may not never see it, or they may not never know it. But I've always been observant as a kid, and I've always just paid attention. Never really talked much. Still like that to this day. And I may preach a little more nowadays, often just because, you know, as the person I am, it's my job and it's what I love doing. It's a lot of things that I probably wish I could have did different, which is why I do this whole YouTube shit today. To give y'all the back end of my life story and to show y'all also what y'all have to go through and what it takes to level up and master the reality that you want to live in. And oftentimes we tend to do what other people want to do. And I feel like that was my biggest problem a few months ago. You know, I can admit, sometimes the money can get to you, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you may feel too good. But I'm going to tell y'all this just so y'all don't have to go through it. Don't ever abuse anything, you feel me? Because you could have something 1 minute and you can lose it. And it's funny because none of this happened until after I left my ex that I used to talk to back out here in Texas. We were young as fuck, kids, you know what I'm saying, mind you. I tried the whole rekindling thing, it just didn't go right. She was more so in tune of always wanted to have a drink, and I was more in tune of trying to actually build. But you can't build with somebody that refuses to break a habit or refuses to change for you. And those were the exact words she told me, was she would do anything for us. She would change for us and this and that or whatnot. So I came to Texas thinking everything was going to be peaches and cream. And it was at first. And then everything started slowly falling. And one thing that I kind of got an eye-opener on was that she was nothing like how she used to be. And I feel like people change over time, or things change you over time, you know. And personally, I can just say that I had belief, I had faith in that, and thought that it would still work out, and it didn't. Now, it's kind of like the same cycle to date. And I'm gonna tell y'all why it kind of feels like that, because excuse me for that. When I was with her, bro, it was literally for like 2 months, 3 months. Mind y'all, the girl that I was previously with, bro, had to cut her off. The way that shit ended was kind of weird, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. But I'm gonna just tell y'all, bro, I was with her for 2 months, almost 3 months. We actually stopped talking. We actually stopped talking literally when we hit 3 months, and that's because the distance got real. And I don't tend to do well with distance, long distance. Like, none of that shit has ever just been able to live within me, bro. I feel like if I don't have a connection built strong enough to empower that distance, then I feel like it's gonna break the bond that I have with people. And that's what happened with my ex. And it's just crazy that the longest I've been in a relationship was with the girl I was with back in high school when I was a senior and shit like that. You know, I was showing up every single day, every single night. When she called, I picked up the phone. When she wanted something, I was there. When she wanted to go have fun, I was there. So it was never really a moment where I just turned her down, and I kind of realized now, like, bro, I really wasted half of my time. Well, I wouldn't really say wasted, but I would really say I consumed some of my time in my life based off of other people's decisions and choices, just for them to be no longer here with me. And I'm not really more so mad about it. Maybe back then I was, but I'm just more so disappointed in some things, some people, some choices that they made. Because I know if their roles were reversed, it would probably be different, you know. But if it's one thing that I noticed and I realized about my life is, shit, life is what we make it. You know what I'm saying? And this is it. If you don't choose to crack the code sooner or later, then you will fall just like I did. And don't get me wrong, bro, I'm not telling y'all that it's not okay to fall a couple of times, because you gotta crash and bump your head in order to realize what you gotta do better. And I feel like one of the things that I have to do better on as a person is just focusing on myself more so. I'm a loving guy, even though I show that I don't care sometimes. I know that sometimes, bro, I'm like Superman to people. You feel me? So yeah, I realized that it was the same cycle with that. So that's one thing that I had to break, that I'm still breaking. It's like a blessing and it's a curse at the same time, because it sucks when you can put in at least 2-3 months with somebody, bro, and know that that shit's not gonna continue to work out. But I feel like sometimes I be having a vision to where I foresee things, so I really save myself from getting far enough to hurt my own feelings. And that's why I say all the time, I move with my mental instead of my heart, because I built I mastered my mind to the point to where nothing can really break me anymore. It can only disappoint me. And when I realized it was the same reoccurring cycle with these women, when I realized I was taking risk for these girls and less risk for myself, I realized why my life was just the way that it was. And I didn't realize that till after the shit happened. Getting put on a restraining order, nothing physical, mind y'all, you know what I'm saying? This girl was in college or whatever, and you know, that distance was just catching up to me. And I didn't know how to break that distance curse like I do today, because I was able to easily just stop talking to the other female. And mind you, it was way more to that story. But in 2023, I was so in love with this female, literally, it was like a part of me got took when she left. When she blocked communication, when I had to stop doing certain things. It was hard. It was like going through withdrawals. But I realized that's what made me who I am today. And although she may have told me some things, I learned from her in a way. And it's things that she probably learned from me in a way. And I ain't saying things were just all bad, because, you know, you gotta go through things when you with somebody in order to see the results, in order to get to the good. At least that's what we think. So not only did I take a risk for her moving to Arkansas, but I had risk my freedom of even being able to roll a blunt. I was months sober, going crazy, thinking about all the nights that she was just out partying and doing whatever she wanted. And I'm crying my heart out. I feel like that's the most I've ever probably shed tears over a girl, bro. Like, everybody else, it was really I was really not fazed when I think about it. And now at this day and age, I just realized, bro, once you stop shedding tears, once you stop showing emotion over breakups and shit, you then now know that you're used to it. You feel me? Which is a good thing, because it means you found growth within that shit. And when it can't break you, it'll just build you. And so I wouldn't say I'm in regret for that, but I would just say if I didn't take that road or make that risk for her, I probably would be maybe little bit more farther with everything. Because with her, I was more so worried about love life and trying to build, not expecting the whole college thing to hit her, because she was dealing with things too, as I was. So it was kind of like we were both battling things as we were trying to keep the spark alive. And even as friends, she still had that intimate side for me, and I did too. And it's like we was at an agreement where, you know, shit, we was cool with it. But then after she left, everything went to shambles. It's just crazy how a person can make you feel, bro. I'm gonna tell y'all, bro. If y'all don't learn from it now, bro, learn from my mistakes, bro, my situation, bro. Because y'all, it's plenty of people in the world, y'all. And I know you may feel alone and may feel like your time needs to happen, but, bro, take your time, bro. Genuinely analyze and study that person, bro, if you really feel for them. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit up here and just hop in a relationship because, yeah, you just feel alone or you think that you just need somebody. Nah, shit's not mandatory. You feel me? The things we really need most, we never really factor in. And sometimes that could probably be the reason why life isn't life and how we want it to. All right. But that's the beauty of living. You feel me? And I wish I would have heard that a lot more. Being at this video is pretty much about the risk that I took for people and why I'm at this point or how I got here. It's mainly so to show y'all and prove to y'all or tell y'all basically that no matter what in life, bro, always put yourself first. You feel me? Because the same way you came in this earth is the same way you're gonna leave this earth. I'm not blaming people for making their own decisions. It's life. You feel me? It's what people gotta do. Because if you can't figure out your life alone, then you're gonna always have your expectations high of needing help, needing to be around people. And then at that point, you might as well just accept validation. You know? I've been cool with Khalil for years on end. Same amount of time I was cool with Michael, if y'all still remember. But I had to do some disconnections with Michael. You know, some things that I realized that we wasn't thinking on the same anymore. It's different from when you kids and then as you get older. You know what I'm saying? He now has a child or whatever. I don't know how that's currently going from the previous times that I stopped talking to him. But I tried to rekindle that. That's another one on the list. No lotto when I say that I wish people would understand how much I really gave a fuck. How much time I really put into them, and no matter if people felt like they put in time also as well, cool. Never said y'all didn't or didn't, you feel me? That's y'all though. But speaking from my perspective in my life, who I am versus who I want to become every single day gonna always be the same, damn near. But who I want to become is always gonna be more elevated. It's gonna be more of an upgraded version of myself that I'm striving to work towards. A lot of people may call it struggle. I call it learning. Learning from certain decisions and choices that we make in life, so we don't have to be in regret or don't have to think back on it and be like, damn, maybe I should never done this, because it sucks to even think that way. So yeah, had to stop talking to him. Like I was telling y'all know me and Khalil been cool for some time. And even though we've lived with each other, stayed under the same roof, turned up, been outside, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of shit that you can do with a person, and it all becomes just a memory, just a thought. Not saying anything bad or anything, but he did what he could do, I did what I could do, and now we're here. We've always think alike in a lot of ways, which is why we damn near got along almost all the time. I can say out of every friendship, I never really had disagreements with bro like that too much, you know what I'm saying? I think he was probably mainly one of the most, out of every friend I've had in my life, to just show that type of respect, to just show up, you know what I'm saying? And even though we had disagreements, shit, I've always understood and seen things from even his perspective. It's crazy how I thought he would be here, but he's not. And like I say, it's kind of like something I've seen before happening already. I just didn't know when it would happen, Kind of knew he would wind up back in Oklahoma. Mind you, I went out there for my little break or whatever, came back, got back straight to the money. Bro was like a brother to me, you know what I'm saying? Like another brother, you feel me? And even though he may not be like my actual blood, shit, like I say, I stand on loyalty, you know what I'm saying? It's all about how long motherfuckers can stick around a nigga like me. Very few people can sometimes. But I just want to say, I even took a risk for him. I could have did things differently. Because y'all, when I tell y'all, bro, I probably cracked the code on this idea that I'm currently doing now. I cracked the code, and I'm explaining y'all probably in another video, or probably if I got a little bit more time. But as far as that goes, I kind of foreseen this shit happening already. And like I say, I'm not living my life for others anymore, and I'm not basing my decisions off of other people no more. I'm strictly doing what I want to do, how I want to do it, because I see things differently, and I'm always see things differently, you know what I'm saying? And personally, I can say that I was under a roof at first when I moved out here to Texas. I was with my uncle, had a job, a good-ass job, and I was getting good money. And my whole plan was to get a place and all of that or whatnot. That was the goal. And so I ain't gonna say I didn't accomplish that goal, because I did, even though he was on my side with me. The goal was to leave my uncle's crib with enough money to be able to have a crib and to be able to still manage and do things, be able to afford shit in my place. And I wasn't able to do that part. I was furnishing it to a certain extent, maybe my room or so in the kitchen. This pretty much was it. And I told myself, when I get this place, I want to make hella accomplishments. I want to make hella memories in this place. I want to make money from this place. And that was one of the greatest things that I was able to conquer was, bro, driving sales in my own shit, bro. Like, it's no better feeling than being an entrepreneur, bro. Being somebody that you built yourself to be. Because that version of you tends to go unnoticed. And I could probably speak for some other people out there. But for me personally, I can say, it feels good. And that's why I don't ever give up. That's why even when I feel like it's a wrap, bro, it's still life. Gotta keep living it. If we're living for death, bro, why not just live, bro? Why tread lightly? Why beat around the bush? You know, yeah. Took a risk and it worked. Took a risk with the homie, something that I had talked about years back when I was young, about getting a place with one of my close friends or one of the bros one day, and I was able to do that. So I can genuinely say I can check that off my list. So now it's all about the next goal. Now it's all about what you decide to do next. Once you experience one thing, you have many more things to experience in life. So make goals, have a list, and live your life accordingly to how that list is, or how that route is. And I'm telling y'all, trust. Everything gonna align. So it's all in like an order a little bit. That's all that is. He'll be back. Don't know when. Not really too much concern. But yeah, basically he sold his phone when he was in Oklahoma. And he wasn't able to contact me. I don't know why he didn't get my number or type it in his phone, but it's just crazy because I seen him one day that I was leaving to come back out here. I was in Oklahoma and I went to catch my bus or whatever. Wasn't too much I could really say. Even though I wish I would have said something, but it's like I was already in a hurry. I was kind of late. The time I got to the bus stop, my bus was taking off and I had to stop it. But I made it. And we're here, we're back to the money, we're staying down, and from here on forward, we're just executing, bro, as much as we can, bro. Trying to break certain cycles so it don't seem like repetition. Other than that genuinely just happened because, like I said, when I left my uncle's crib, bro ended up going through some shit out there in Oklahoma himself, all right, and which caused him to leave his shit all behind, come out here and execute the plan with me, and that's what happened. But like I said, sometimes in life we gotta switch things up a notch and do things differently. Sometimes that requires not taking risks for others, taking risks for yourself and putting yourself first. No matter what, no matter if the plan seems good, stick to what you stick to, all right? Because everything is a lesson learned in life. But like I said, it's probably going on 4 in the morning. I don't know how long I've been rolling the camera for, so we're gonna wrap this video on up, y'all. Like I said, remember that no matter what you're going through, bro, everything happens for a reason. So if y'all enjoyed this video, man, make sure I smash that like button. Don't forget to click the post notification bell. And I'll be back with y'all with some more videos. Peace.